Hello, Reds fans. Welcome to the YNWA Transfer News Channel. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for your daily latest news.
Liverpool are at the heart of major transfer and coaching developments, with key player targets, staff changes, and pricing decisions shaping their summer plans. Here's the latest. Bayern Munich legend expresses Florian Wirtz pity as Liverpool destroys transfer philosophy. Liverpool staved off competition from Bayern Munich to sign Florian Wirtz, much to the disappointing of the Bundesliga giant, which is used to hoovering up the best German talent. Former Bayern Munich CEO Karl-Heinz Rummenigge has expressed his disappointment at Florian Wirtz's decision to join Liverpool over Bayern Munich. Wirtz's move to Liverpool was confirmed last week as the Reds agreed to pay £100 million, $137 million, plus a further £16 million, $22 million. In possible add-ons for the Germany international. It emerged in May that it was Wirtz's preference to join Liverpool, which came as something of a surprise considering the Reds were up against Bayern Munich to land his signature. Bayern has made a habit of hoovering up the best German players, and the expectation was that Wirtz would end up in Bavaria too. But he was ultimately won over by the Liverpool project. Addressing the snub from Wirtz, Rummenigge told Welt am Sonntag, "Generally speaking, I think it's a pity. We've always had the philosophy that the best German players should play for FC Bayern. We gave it our all. In this case, no one made a mistake. It's Florian's decision, and we have to accept it. Wirtz will report for the start of preseason training on July 7th, ahead of Liverpool's first 2025-26 warm-up fixture away to Preston North End on July 13. Speaking to club media as his transfer was announced, Wirtz said, "I feel very happy and very proud. Finally, it's done, and I was waiting for a long time. Finally, it's done, and I am really happy. I'm really excited to have a new adventure in front of me. This was also a big point of my thoughts, that I want to have something completely new, to go out of the Bundesliga, and to join the Premier League. I will see how I can perform there. I hope I can do my best. I spoke also with some players who played there and they told me that it's perfect for me and every pitch is perfect. You can enjoy every game. I'm really looking forward to playing my first game." Wirtz will be joined the AXA training center by fellow new signings Jeremy Frimpong, Milos Kerkez, Georgi Mamardashvili, Armin Pexi, and Freddie Woodman. Liverpool has spent heavily this summer, but it has also brought in a significant amount of money through the sales of Trent Alexander, Kawimin Kelleher, and Yarel Kwanzaa, while Federico Ben Doak, Harvey Elliott, Darwin Núñez, and either Andy Robertson or Costa Tsimikas could all still leave. Despite forking out for Wirtz, Frimpong, and Kerkez, Liverpool has apparently identified 3 striker targets as Arne Slot looks to bolster his attacking options. Liverpool is apparently interested in Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, and Victor Osimhen, and has done its homework on all 3 targets. Arsenal and Liverpool make contact over £51.5 million. Star, wanted by Premier League rivals Arsenal and Liverpool, are both in the market for new attackers this summer, and they are among a cluster of teams who admire Lions breakthrough star Malik Fofana, have slapped a €60 million, £51.5 million price tag on the head of Malik Fofana, in the wake of interest from a number of Premier League clubs in the talented winger. Both Arsenal and Liverpool are understood to be in the market for attacking reinforcements this summer, with the former actively searching for a quality left-sided forward to add further depth to their front line after missing out on the title again. Fofana, 20, has won himself a slew of admirers across Europe after a stellar breakthrough campaign for Lyon, whose financial difficulties have been well documented in recent weeks, and it has now been claimed that Lyon would demand at least £51.5 million to cash in on the highly sought-after Belgium international. The Independent outlined that an auction could break out, though, with Arsenal, Chelsea, and Liverpool all keen on the winger. Fulham and Nottingham Forest, like their domestic rivals, are also in contact with Lyon over the conditions of any deal, while Bayern Munich, Napoli, and RB Leipzig are also keen on Fofana, while Lyon would like to demand top-level money for a talented player who scored 11 goals in 41 games last term. Their current plight could influence proceedings. They have been demoted from League One, and while they are expected to appeal the decision, losing their top-flight status and their place in next season's Europa League would likely lead to further financial concerns, which could see rival clubs bid to take advantage of their plight. It emerged earlier this week that there was strong interest from Fofana in the Premier League, with reports in Europe claiming that Nottingham Forest had agreed a deal with Lyon for the player's services. That has since been downplayed, though, with Foot Mercado claiming the player is still a long way from joining Forest. Chelsea are known to have previously made an approach for Fofana. Lyon signed Fofana for just €19.5 million, £16.6 million. From Ghent in January 2024, he is contracted until the summer of 2028, meaning Lyon would not be under pressure to sell were it not for the circumstances surrounding their demotion from France's top league. Liverpool want £15 million for England under-21 star. Liverpool require sales. Phase 1 of their summer transfer spending is at an end, having added big money signings in Florian Wirtz, Milos Kerkez, Jeremy Frimpong, and Georgi Mamardashvili. The Reds have spent around £200 million so far this summer, meaning the focus now is very much on out. The squad will look very different by the time the 2025-26 season kicks off for the Premier League champions. Sporting director Richard Hughes and head coach Arne Slot still plan on buying a new center forward as well as a center back, but they cannot do so until more current squad members leave. Jarl Quansah has wrapped up a move to Bayer Leverkusen, and Harvey Elliott and Darwin Núñez have also been touted as potential sales. But the Reds are also in possession of some other very good youth and academy players who could earn the club decent money in the market. Morton, tipped for a Liverpool exit among that contingent, is Tyler Morton. The homegrown 22-year-old was a star for England in their recent UEFA Euro Under-21 Championship win, but his club future is very much in doubt. Last season was tipped to be a breakthrough campaign for the midfielder, but he could not force his way into Arne Slot's plans. Worse was to come when he suffered injury. He has been suggested as a summer sale, with the club having entertained bids last year too. Back then it was estimated that Morton would go for around £20 million, but with 1 year less on his contract and a frustrating season behind him, he is unlikely to fetch that much this time around. Liverpool asked for £15 million for Tyler Morton. In fact, a new report in the Daily Mail claims that Liverpool have set an asking price of £15 million for the number 6, who enjoyed a productive loan spell with Hull City in 2023-24. The same report states that West Ham have got their eye on Morton, as Graham Potter plots an overhaul of his squad. Intriguingly, Morton has also been linked with Ajax, where he would link up with former Liverpool coach John Heitinga and SC Braga in Portugal, who are now coached by Pep Guardiola's former staff member at Manchester City in Carlos Vicens. Morton to add to Liverpool transfer funds, although Morton isn't one of the Reds' the biggest earners and isn't one of the most valuable players in the squad. Adding £15 million to the transfer kitty would be very useful business indeed, with plans to go in for a number 9, in the shape of Alexander Isak, Hugo Ekitike, or Victor Osimhen, as well as a center-back like Mark Guehi. Liverpool need to claw back all the funding they can. Alisson sees Liverpool role model depart in surprise double coaching change. There have been further changes to Arne Slot's backroom staff, and the goalkeeping department has been overhauled with the exits of Claudio Taffarel and Fabian. At the departure of Claudio Taffarel from Liverpool signals the end of a working relationship between Alisson and one of his role models. Liverpool confirmed several changes to Arne Slot's coaching staff on Wednesday, with Taffarel and Fabian at departing and being replaced by Xabi Valero. Valero previously worked at Liverpool under Rafa Benitez and returns to Liverpool as the new head of first-team goalkeeper coaching. It will be interesting to know what Alisson makes of the decision to part ways with Taffarel, who he has worked alongside on Merseyside for the last 4 years. Taffarel took up a coaching opportunity under Jurgen Klopp in 2011, and Alisson revealed last year how much he enjoyed working with the legendary former Brazil goalkeeper, who made over 100 appearances for the Seleção and won the World Cup in 1994. "We are working together since 10 years, I think, in the national team," Alisson said of Taffarel, who also worked as coach for the Brazil national team between 2014 and 2023. "I think it is really natural from the beginning. Sometimes when you have good friends, you don't need to speak, to push each other, you just have to act. I like to work hard. He knows that. And he likes to work hard. I know that. I think our problem is making sure that we don't push too much. Sometimes we have to control a little bit the sessions. But we have a really good relationship as friends, and it doesn't make us more soft to each other. It makes us more hard to each other. And he's not the kind of guy that is gonna come to me and say, 'Look to this game, you didn't make what I said to you to make.' No, he's a really cool guy." Alisson added, Taffarel will say, "Maybe sometimes. Maybe that goal you concede, maybe your positioning could be different. Maybe you could weigh a bit more to act towards the ball, towards the striker. You moved too early. Those small things. But we understand each other just in the way we look to each other, and we know. So he's a guy who helps me a lot, not only talking but the way he acts. He is a role model as a person, and having him working on my side. I am so lucky. I am so lucky for that." As well as the reshuffle of the goalkeeping department, Giovanni van Bronckhorst has been appointed as Slot's new assistant coach. That position was left vacant by Johnny Heitinga's decision to become Ajax's head coach several weeks ago. Mark Guehi's asking price reaches new high that Liverpool will not entertain. Mark Guehi is a target for Liverpool this summer, having finalized Jarl Quansah's exit. But the latest lofty asking price will not be entertained by the club, with Quansah having sealed a £35 million move to Bayer Leverkusen. Liverpool's next move in the market is expected to be for a centre-back in the Crystal Palace. Captain is the prime candidate. Guehi has entered the final year of his contract in the Males. Lewis Steele previously reported that Palace are thought to be seeking a fee close to £50 million for their no. 6. It comes after Palace rejected bids from Newcastle and Tottenham of up to £70 million. But The Guardian's Andy Hunter has now claimed the asking price is closer to £65 million. It is a fee that Liverpool will not come close to matching, with Palace needing to rethink their expectations if a deal is to be agreed. As per previous reports, Liverpool are expected to try to lowball them at £30 million. With it projected that the two clubs could meet in the middle at £40 million, with Guehi not entertaining a new deal at Selhurst Park. Liverpool will be banking on the players' desire to move to Anfield to play into their hands and avoid any potential bidding war. At 24, the Palace captain is an ideal option for Arne Slot, who will entrust the centre-back with more game time than he did. Quansah, as Liverpool juggle for different competitions. With Quansah's exit confirmed, we could see an acceleration in the pursuit of his replacement ahead of the club's return to preseason early next week. Ajax's Jorel Hato and RB Leipzig's Castello Luquiba have also been mentioned as centre-back targets for Liverpool, who the club could use to keep Palace at the negotiating table. It is a busy summer of incomings and outgoings for the club, who announced Giovanni van Bronckhorst as a new assistant coach on Wednesday, in addition to the exits of Fabian Et and Claudio Taffarel from the goalkeeping department. Liverpool have announced notable changes to their goalkeeping department, with a familiar face returning as Fabian Et and Claudio Taffarel depart a year into Arne Slot's reign. The club are undergoing further significant changes on and off the pitch, with new signings and staff members ahead of the 2025-26 season. Giovanni van Bronckhorst has been named as Slot's assistant after the departure of John Heidt, but it was the announcement of changes in the goalkeeping department that caught the eye. Et, who only joined the club last summer as the head of goalkeeping, departs as Taffarel, who was initially recommended to the club by Alisson in 2021. Xavi Valero now returns as the new head of first-team goalkeeping coaching after first working under Rafa Benitez at Liverpool in 2007. He has spent the last 7 years at West Ham. Prior to that, he stuck close to Benitez during his time at Inter, Chelsea, Napoli, and Real Madrid.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe to the channel. See you next time.